Hey guys, my name is Josh. Welcome to Bastards of the Watch. Today I'm going to be talking about Avengers Endgame. I'm going to do another recording shortly after this talking about Game of Thrones and the Battle of Winterfell. So this is going to be a spoiler review of both episodes. If you haven't seen either one yet, please go ahead and log off. Don't check out my videos until you've seen it. If you have seen Avengers Endgame, that's what we're going to start off with on this video. We're going to try and break it down best we can according to my memory. I've only seen it one time. I got to see it yesterday, and my God, it was phenomenal. It's everything that the Marvel Universe has been building over the past 22 films, and it came together perfectly in the end. It came together poetically. It was an amazing action flick. This is a spoiler review, so if you're not gone by now, so I'm sorry. But as far as the battle scene in the movie goes, it's probably the best battle scene I've seen in a movie since probably Lord of the Rings. And it just brought all of the characters in, and all of a sudden all these characters that got dusted, we finally got to see them come back. We saw Spider-Man, Black Panther, a lot of the Wakanda soldiers that got dusted, and also in the movie we lost several people. Obviously Cap, Iron Man, and Black Widow. We didn't technically lose Cap. He's just old man Cap now. It seems he's passed the helm on to Falcon at this point. And I thought that was a beautiful scene, the way it was done. I felt like it was a great exit for Captain America and a great wrap up to his storyline. He finally got his dance with Peggy Carter, and Agent Carter, Peggy Carter. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, he finally got his dance with Agent Carter, and it was something that he had promised her from the first Captain America movie. As far as Tony Stark is concerned, I wanted to pick. I saw another channel talking about like a Stark MVP for the weekend because Game of Thrones and Avengers Endgame, they're Starks. You've got Tony Stark in Endgame, and then you've got the Starks of Winterfell in Game of Thrones. So the Stark MVP was a close tie between that of Tony and Arya. I've got to say I call my MVP on Tony because he laid down the ultimate sacrifice to not only save the world but to save the universe, which at that time Thanos was talking about erasing the entirety of the Marvel universe that has been built up to this point and starting from scratch, because he didn't think that people appreciated the fact that he reduced the population of the universe by 50% in order to, I guess, conserve resources or make resources more plentiful. At any rate, yeah, he was talking about destroying the entirety of the universe. With that, Iron Man stopped him. So did all the other Avengers, but Iron Man, of course, being the start MVP winner for me, he stepped up. He made the ultimate sacrifice, and he snapped Thanos. He dusted Thanos, and other just beautiful scenes in the movie included Captain America being able to wield Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, from when Thor went back in time and was able to retrieve it again, which, they explained storylines and alternate storylines, so I guess that they create another universe where Thor just didn't have Mjolnir, or another timeline where Thor just didn't have Mjolnir. But that aside, I mean, just for the sake of this storyline, it came together beautifully whenever Cap was able to wield it, and fight Thanos in probably one of the greatest choreographed fight CGI scenes that you're going to get out of a comic book movie. It was incredible. I can't stress enough how amazing this movie was. I can't stress enough how well they played out the emotions in the beginning of the movie and the shock factor of when they actually killed Thanos in the beginning of the movie, and you're like, well, damn, where the hell does the storyline go now? They just kept you in suspense, and they kept you on the edge of your seat and kept you guessing, first and foremost. I've seen several prediction videos on YouTube, and I just feel almost nobody got it right. That's how well they played out the storyline. I mean, if you guess time travel, that was obvious. I guess like it what I was kind of confused as to how they were going to intertwine the quantum realm into time travel. Quantum physics isn't exactly my specialty. I'm pretty good at astronomy, but when it comes to quantum physics, that just is a whole another world. Um, but it was interesting to see how they made that intertwine of going into the quantum realm in one certain time frame, and then being able to come out of the quantum realm in a completely different time and place. That was explained by Ant-Man, saying that while everyone else on Earth experienced 5 years post snap, everybody else on Earth experienced 5 years on the planet, having gone through all that. Whereas Ant-Man went into the quantum universe while he was there, he only experienced 8 hours of time, and so it kind of suggests that just in the quantum realm, time works differently, or is probably non-existent. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know. Unlike most time travel storylines, it played out really well. I like the idea of how you make one decision in a timeline, and it doesn't really like say Hulk had gone to kill himself. Well, he wouldn't have technically killed himself. Like killing himself in the past wouldn't have meant like future Hulk would have died or whatever. Which that's a bad example. Hulk's kind of hard to kill, but you get what I'm saying. Captain America, if he went back in the past and tried to kill himself, it's not going to kill future Captain America, because it just creates an alternate timeline where there's no Captain America, but Captain America originally came from his own timeline, so killing his past self doesn't necessarily affect his future self. It's very convoluted, kind of crazy, but I like the way they played it out. I honestly think that the greatest it's going to go down not only as the greatest one of the greatest films of all time. I think this entire franchise has done something that no other movie franchise has ever done, and it'll be amazing if they're able to continue pulling off the success with the properties that Disney has just bought with the X-Men, Fantastic Four. It'll be interesting to see where they go with that in the future, but for right now, I mean, we've had 22 films in the Avengers MCU universe, and it is probably the most beautiful series of films ever done. It's a major achievement in film history, and if you don't go see this in theaters, you're going to regret it. I recommend IMAX. If you go see it in Big D, 3D, whatever, just standard, just go see it in theaters. Go see it with the crowd. It's like being at a sporting event. Whenever major things happen, everybody's cheering together. There's certain points where, I mean, half the damn room is crying in this movie. It was just, I'm going to see it again this weekend, and I'm probably going to put together another video then, just so I have, how like when you see a movie just one time and you miss things. So I'm going to look for the things that I missed in it. I'm going to look for the things that maybe I forgot in it. There's just so many different characters and so many different things that go over in these movies that it makes it difficult. I mean, especially when you go into like talking about time travel, and then you all of a sudden have two nebulas, which you did. You had a nebula from the present who was friendly with the Avengers, and then you had a nebula from the past who was loyal to Thanos. And so they clashed. Of course, we saw the nebula that was loyal to Thanos come up with the time machine hand clock thingy that they were all wearing. And once he was able to get that, we saw that's how he was able to come into the Avengers timeline and come out of the Avengers the Avengers headquarters, basically. Which, yeah, I guess that, yeah, they came from the past to the future to get to the Avengers headquarters. And that entire scene, again, just one of the most epic battle scenes in film history. They brought everybody into this. I mean, motherfucking everybody. Captain America had a huge shining moment. Thor, who, by the way, like, just his whole storyline in the movie was insane. We got freaking the dude Thor, okay? Lebowski Thor. It was, and he had an amazing performance. He was hilarious the entire time, and I'm totally looking forward to seeing him in in a James Gunn directed Guardians of the Galaxy 3. In case you haven't heard, he's been signed back on to Guardians of the Galaxy. He still has to finish out his film that he's promised to DC and Warner Brothers for Suicide Squad 2. So we're going to see him write and produce and will write and direct that. And then after he's done writing and directing Suicide Squad 2, we're going to see him jump right back into the Marvel Universe and pick up where he left off with the Guardians. And so that storyline will be in good hands. We'll definitely see a lot of great humor and interaction between the Guardians and between Thor. We'll see if maybe they pick up with the... At the end of Avengers Endgame, you saw Star-Lord sitting there looking at a computer, and he's looking for Gamora. And just like there was a past Nebula, there was also a past Gamora. I don't think they're going to keep her in the storyline. I think instead they're going to send Nebula and Gamora back to the timeline that they came from. And I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. I mean, it could just be that the past Gamora stays in this timeline, and then they try and build a new relationship with her and Star-Lord and the Guardians themselves. It could be that the Guardians 3 film is a journey to get their Gamora back, to find a way to get her out of the Soul Stone, or wherever it is you go, whenever that deal is made for the Soul Stone, the sacrifice that has to be made. We don't know where they go. There's theories that they go into the Soul Stone, but we don't know that for sure. And really, after the snap happened, with sort of the sacrifice being satisfied with Scarlett Johansson, which, you know, we saw her die in the film. That was pretty terrible. I mean, it was her choice, and I guess it kind of had to play out the way it did, because Hawkeye did have a family that he was trying to get back to, and they were trying to unsnap, and you know, that was more important than, I guess, holding on to Black Widow. But yeah, I get. But with her sacrifice kind of satisfying the situation with the Soul Stone, does that mean when the snap happened, was Gamora released, or is it, as they were saying in the film, are they just stuck there forever and there's no way to get them out? And does the Guardians 3 film end in tragedy, where they realize that they indeed can't bring Gamora back? Does it end in failure? And having to settle for past Gamora? Or there's a couple ways they could play it out, you know. It's unpredictable, just like this previous film was. Where they're going from Avengers Endgame is going to be fairly predictable, especially without a Captain America and without an Iron Man. Everybody's saying it's going to probably be Captain Marvel who takes over the leadership role for the Avengers. We'll see what new characters they bring into the storyline as far as the X-Men and Fantastic Four are concerned. Reed Richards would probably be a good candidate for the next leader after Captain Marvel. If they can actually lock down a legitimately good Fantastic Four movie, which I believe they can. If they can put together a good Ant-Man movie, there's no reason why they can't put together a good Fantastic Four movie. It may be a bit of a stretch for your wider audience, but if you can, I don't know. It may be a bit of a stretch. We've seen it have failures in the past. I think Kevin Feige is going to have an overall ultimate goal to get that movie right, though, to get those characters right, because he himself has been a major part in developing a Fantastic Four movie in the past, and it failed horribly. They got about 2 movies out of it, maybe 3. I can't remember how many they got out of Fantastic Four, with like Jessica Simpson and even Chris Evans, before he played Captain America, was the Flame guy, Flamer. I don't know their names. I'm not a big Fantastic Four fan for real. I know Reed Richards. He was very, very much more prominent in the major storylines where you had like Avengers in the comics, like Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men. All of them kind of play a role, especially in the Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War comics. But beyond that, Fantastic Four was never really my preference. As you can see, I'm wearing a Green Lantern shirt. I'm actually more of a pro DC guy. I love, you know, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Flash, Aquaman, so on and so forth. And I would really like for them to get their shit together on their movie universe. The past couple of movies they've released, plus Wonder Woman. So you had Aquaman and Shazam up in to see both of those movies. They were fantastic films. If you haven't seen Shazam yet and you're still like frustrated with busy movie hours for the Avengers Endgame, go into one of the more empty theaters and check out Shazam, because it's worth the while and it's a great watch. It's absolutely hilarious. Um, Beyond that, guys, I think I've said just about everything I can remember about the movie. I mean, I can't stress enough how amazing that freaking Captain America with Mjolnir hammer moment was. That was, it was a nerd's wet dream. It was everything you hope for. Like it just the payoff that you get as a film fan, having watched all of these Avengers films. If you're one of those people like me who just never missed a single one, you went to see all of them in theaters. And if you didn't see all of them in theaters, you at least caught them the day that they were released on DVD. That was me. I love these movies. They very much brought me into the film fan community. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut this video short. I've still got to do a little bit of cutting and editing for another Game of Thrones video that I'm shooting right now. So if y'all enjoyed the video today, please do like and subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, I'll try and respond to them in either a later video or just down in the comments section. And beyond that, I hope y'all enjoyed it, guys. If you'd like to get notified when I post stuff in the future, hit the little bell. I'll catch y'all.